Hey class, in the last video when I talked about gram to gram calculations, I gave you the long run and broke each step down individually. There is a way, once you get more comfortable, to speed it up a little bit. And it's pretty close to the same process, except a longer railroad. And that's what I'm going to show you in this video. We have the exact same problem, exact same equation. Going to do it a little bit differently though. The first step is still, you got to find the molar mass for both because you're going to be using grams. So, first up, how many grams of silver chloride? Silver chloride over here, AgCl, 1 Ag, 1 Cl. Silver's atomic mass is 107.868. And chlorine is 35.453. Add those together. $143.321 grams per mole, and that's AgCl. Now, right next to it, we're going to find calcium chloride's molar mass, CaCl2, so we have 1 Ca and 2 Cls. Calcium is 40.078, and there's one of them. Chlorine, we already know, is 35.453, but there's two. Which is 70.906. Add these together, not too difficult. 110.984 grams per mole of CaCl2. Okay, now we got that part out. We can move into our railroad. Now, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to write down what we're given. So, we're looking for question mark grams of silver chloride, AgCl. What we're given is grams of calcium chloride. So write down what we have first. 49.5 grams. And remember, keep the formulas together. That way you don't screw up. 49.5 grams of CaCl2. Railroad track over 1. Now we have to turn that grams of CaCl2 into moles of CaCl2. We need grams to cancel. We're going to draw a railroad track out a little longer. We want grams on the bottom. CaCl2 is 110.984 grams of CaCl2 per 1 mole of CaCl2. Cancel your grams, and then this is where the extension comes in, or the shorthand. We're just going to keep going with this railroad instead of stopping at each point and making a new calculation. So, extend the railroad out. We can't do anything with moles of CaCl2. We need to get moles of AgCl first. So we have to find our mole to mole ratio. If you look up in the equation, this is a 1, remember, and then that's a 2. So if we're going from moles of CaCl2 to moles of silver chloride, our ratio is 1 to 2. And remember, we want moles of CaCl2 to cancel, so we have to put it on bottom. So for every 1 mole of CaCl2, we'll have 2 moles of AgCl. Cancel out your moles and then extend your railroad. Now we're going to change moles of AgCl into grams of AgCl. We want moles to cancel, so we're going to put moles on bottom. So 1 mole of AgCl is equal to 143.321 grams of AgCl. Now we have the units that we're looking for over here, so we can stop our railroad. Cancel out those moles, and now all that's left are grams of AgCl. That's what we want. Now at this point, you multiply everything on the top and then everything on the bottom. I'm going to do the bottom one in my head. 1 times 1 times 1 is 1, times 110.984 is 110.984. And I'm going to use a calculator for the top part. 49.5 times 2 times 143.321. 14,188.779. At this point, you've got your total top and your total bottom. All you have to do is divide. Divided by 110.984. And that gives me 127.84526 grams of, what are we solving for? AgCl. Now, we don't want to leave it like this. This is junky. When we have all of our work done, we're going to round to the least number of decimal points in our question. And in this case, it gave us 49.5, so we're going to round to 1 decimal. Round to that 8, the 4, it's not going to do anything. So our final answer, 127.8 grams of AgCl. And if you compare that to the last video, you'll see it's the exact same answer. We can use the long railroad if you want. If you feel more comfortable doing it individually, like one step, then the next, then the next, then the next, that's up to you. This is just to save you from having to multiply different things and divide different things 4 times versus doing it all at once. Either way you're comfortable with, you're going to get the right answer. I hope this clarifies anything, and this will help on the homework assignment and the practice check that you'll see for this section.